Battleship is a 2012 American military science fiction action film loosely based on the board game of the same name by Hasbro. The film was directed by Peter Berg from a script by brothers Jon and Erich Hoeber and stars Taylor Kitsch, Alexander Skarsgård, Brooklyn Decker, Rihanna in her feature film debut, Tadanobu Asano, Hamish Linklater, and Liam Neeson. Filming took place in Hawaii and on u.s.a.Missouri. In the film, the crews of a small group of warships are forced to battle against a naval fleet of extraterrestrial origin in order to thwart their destructive goals. Battleship premiered in Tokyo on April 3, 2012, and was released by Universal Pictures in the United States on May 18, 2012. The film received generally negative reviews and underperformed at the box office, grossing $303 million worldwide against a production budget of $209 to $20 million, losing both Universal and Hasbro $150 million. Plot: in 2005, potentially habitable planet G is discovered, and in 2006, a communications array to reach any extraterrestrial life is built in Oahu. There, a slacking Alex Hopper is arrested while attempting to impress Samantha Sam Shane, daughter of Admiral Terrence Shane. Alex's brother, Commander Stone Hopper, furiously forces Alex to join the U.S. Navy. 6 years later, Alex is a lieutenant aboard the USS John Paul Jones and in a relationship with Sam, a physical therapist working with wounded veterans. While Stone is a model officer commanding the USS Sampson, the rebellious Alex, despite showing plenty of potential, is facing a disciplinary discharge. During the 2012 RIMPAC exercise, 5 alien spacecraft arrive. Their communications ship hits a satellite and crashes through the Bank of China Tower in Hong Kong, while the others plunge into the waters off the coast of Hawaii. Sampson, John Paul Jones, and Japanese destroyer JDS-MYK discover a floating structure that generates an impenetrable force field isolating the Hawaiian Islands and the 3 destroyers from the rest of the world, and jamming all radar and communications inside. 3 alien warships surface, and first contact devolves into a battle after the humans decide to fire a warning shot across the aliens' bow. MYK is destroyed, Sampson is lost with all hands including Stone, and John Paul Jones' command personnel are killed, leaving Alex to reluctantly take charge as the next highest-ranking sailor on board after the executive officer is also lost. John Paul Jones disengages to recover MYK's survivors, including Captain Yugi Nagata, while alien drones destroy Oahu's military bases. Hiking near the communications array, Sam and retired U.S. Army Lieutenant Colonel and double amputee Mick Canales discover the aliens' presence. They encounter scientist Cal Zapata, who reveals the aliens have taken over the array to re-establish communications with their home planet. The John Paul Jones crew captures an alien, which telepathically shows Alex images of alien conflict and planetary destruction. More aliens board and retrieve their comrade while one starts sabotaging the ship. Its armored suit proves impervious to small arms fire, but it is obliterated by the destroyer's 5-inch gun, and the captured alien's helmet reveals their eyes are sensitive to sunlight. Ashore, Sam, Mick, and Cal recover his spectrum analyzer, using it to radio John Paul Jones that the aliens will contact their planet and most likely call for reinforcements when the facility's satellite is in position in 4 hours. As night falls, Hopper realizes they have no visibility. Nagata suggests using the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, tsunami warning buoys around Hawaii to track the warships without radar. This plan works and allows John Paul Jones to destroy 2 of them. The third proves too elusive, so they lure it into facing east as the sun rises. Alex and Nagata shoot out its bridge windows with sniper rifles, blinding its crew with sunlight and allowing John Paul Jones to destroy it. The destroyer then attempts to target the communications array, but is sunk by drones launched from the alien structure emitting the force field. Alex, Nagata, and several other sailors barely escape. The survivors commandeer the decommissioned World War II battleship u.s.a.Missouri with the aid of retired Navy veterans. The floating structure is revealed to be a giant mothership, but Missouri disables the force field, allowing Admiral Shane to scramble fighter jets from the aircraft carrier USS Ronald Reagan. The battleship's turret carrying the ship's last shell is disabled, forcing the sailors to carry the shell to the ship's last functioning turret. Sam, Mick, and Cal stall the aliens at the array, where Mick kills an alien soldier. Alex uses the final shell to destroy the array, rendering the Missouri defenseless, but the mothership's drones are destroyed by Royal Australian Air Force F/A-18 fighter jets, as reinforcements carpet bomb the mothership, eliminating the alien threat. Alex is promoted to lieutenant commander and presented with a Silver Star and his brother's posthumous Navy Cross. Admiral Shane promises Alex will soon have a ship of his own, while he is also recommended to become a Navy SEAL. Alex asks him for Sam's hand in marriage. The Admiral initially refuses, but invites Alex to lunch. In a post-credits scene, some people in Scotland are scared off by an alien that emerges from something that fell from the sky. Cast: Taylor Kitsch as Lieutenant Alex Hoeber, a highly spirited but undisciplined U.S. Navy weapons officer on USS John Paul Jones. Alexander Skarsgård as Commander Stone Hoeber, Alex's older brother, commanding officer of USS Sampson. Rihanna as gunner's mate 2nd Class Cora Rakes, on USS John Paul Jones. Brooklyn Decker as Samantha Shane, a physical therapist and Alex's girlfriend. Tadanobu Asano as Captain Yugi Nagata, JMSDF, commanding officer of JDSMYK and Alex Hopper's rival turned friend. Liam Neeson as Admiral Terrence Shane, commander of the U.S. Pacific Fleet and father of Samantha Shane. Hamish Linklater as Cal Zapata, a scientist working on Oahu. Jesse Plemons as bosun's mate seaman Jimmy Ord, who is sarcastic and doubtful of Alex, on USS John Paul Jones. John Toohey as Chief Petty Officer Walter Beast Lynch, a crewmate of USS John Paul Jones. Hoji Yashida as Chief Engineer Hiraki, a crewmate of JDS Myoko. Gregory D. Gadsden as Lieutenant Colonel Mick Canales, a U.S. Army combat veteran and double amputee. Adam Godley as Dr. Nagrady, the scientist leading the Beacon program. Peter McNichol as the U.S. Secretary of Defense. Jerry Ferrara as Samson Jood Strodell. Stephen Bishop as JPJood. Josh Pence as Chief Moore. Rami Malek as Lieutenant Hill. Louis Lombardi as the bartender. Gary Grubbs as U.S. Air Force Chief of Staff. Production: Alexander Skarsgård, Brooklyn Decker and Peter Berg promoting the film at WonderCon 2012. Battleship was greenlit with a production budget of $150 million but went through a troubled pre-production. Universal at one point considered canceling the film, which would have resulted in a $30 million loss. However, new chairman Adam Fogelson decided the studio would lose less money if they increased the budget of the film instead of outright cancelling it. Filming was set to take place in Australia's Gold Coast in 2010, but changed location due to a lack of Australian government tax incentives and a high estimated budget of $220 million. 5. Filming took place in the United States on the Hawaiian islands of Maui and Oahu, as well as on the mainland where they had to film a few apartment scenes in Sherman Oaks, California. A driving scene and a shootout were filmed in Playa del Rey, California. Some scenes were filmed in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. 7. Further filming was done on the decommissioned Iowa-class battleship u.s.a.Missouri. 8 featured in the film were the real-life guided missile destroyers USS Benfold, DDG-65, USS John Paul Jones, DDG-53, and USS Sampson, DDG-102, all of which are active members of the U.S. Navy Pacific Fleet. The JSMYK, DDG-175, a Kong-class destroyer of the Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force, also appeared in the film. 9. The Science and Entertainment Exchange provided science consultation for the film. 10. Casting: Jeremy Renner was originally considered for the role of Hopper. 11/12 in April 2010, it was reported that Taylor Kitsch had been cast as Alex Hopper. 12/13 Alexander Skarsgård played his brother Stone Hopper, Brooklyn Decker stars as Sam, Hopper's fiancé, and Liam Neeson as Admiral Shane, Sam's father and Hopper's superior officer. 14-15 Barbadian R&B singer Rihanna makes her acting debut in the film, as a sailor. 16 In an interview with GQ, Berg explained how he came up with the idea to cast her. He realized she could act after her appearance on Saturday Night Live. 17 She accepted the role because she wanted to do something badass and also because it wasn't a role too big for her to play. 18 Tadanobu Asano has a role in the film as the commander of the Japanese Kong-class destroyer MYK. Double amputee U.S. Army Colonel Gregory Gadsden, who had never acted before, plays LTC McCanalas. 19 He was cast after Berg saw a picture of him in National Geographic. 20 The film marks the reunion between former CO stars Kitsch and Jesse Plemons, who previously worked together on Berg's television series Friday Night Lights. Berg said he loves working with friends and explained he knew how comfortable Kitsch was with Plemons. I know that he's really good for Taylor and he makes Taylor better. So, I wrote that whole part for Jesse. He added, I never thought of it as a Friday Night Lights reunion. I thought of it as protection, bringing a trusted family member in. 21 U.S. Navy sailors were used as extras in various parts of this film. Sailors from assorted commands in Navy Region Hawaii assisted with line handling to take Missouri in and out of port for a day of shooting in mid-2010. A few months later, the production team put out a casting call for sailors stationed at various sea commands at Naval Station Mayport, Florida to serve as extras. 22 sailors were also taken from various ships stationed at Naval Station Mayport, Jacksonville, Florida, namely USS Hugh City, USS Kearney, and USS Vicksburg were some of the ships that provided sailors. 23 Music. Main article, Battleship, soundtrack. Due to his success with the Transformers franchise, composer Steve Jablonsky was chosen to score the official soundtrack. The soundtrack features original compositions from Jablonsky and features rock guitarist Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine. Director Peter Berg stated, "Working with composers often is a really frustrating experience because you speak a different language and, oftentimes, they take 2 or 3 jobs at the same time. They're difficult and pretentious and they're tormented artists. I'm not going to name names, but most of them are. One guy who isn't is Hans Zimmer, who taught Steve Jablonsky. We had a couple of meetings, and I came up with this idea. The day I met with him, I had an MRI for my neck, and they make that really scary sound. I was like, I just had this MRI, and when I was in there, I was thinking about the aliens, and it was really scary." And he was like, "Oh, that's awesome." He went and recorded MRIs and made music out of MRIs, and that's the theme of the aliens in our film. He is no drama, and just goes and gets it done. The score is big and awesome and scary and driving. At times, it's very simple and acoustic and touching and emotional. He's the best I've ever worked with. 24. Release. Taylor Kitsch, Rihanna and Brooklyn Decker at the Battleship Australian premiere in April 2012. The film was originally planned to be released in 2011, but was rescheduled to May 18, 2012, in the United States. 25 The film's world premiere took place in Tokyo on April 3, 2012. Citation needed. The event was attended by director Peter Berg, actors Taylor Kitsch, Brooklyn Decker, Alexander Skarsgård and Rihanna. Later on they initiated a press tour visiting Madrid, London, and Cartagena, Indias to promote the film. Citation needed. Home media. Battleship was released on DVD and Blu-ray on August 20, 2012, in the United Kingdom 26 and on August 28 in the United States and Canada. 27 Its revenue was $32.4 million. Battleship was released on 4K Blu-ray on January 17, 2017. 28 It received a novelization written by Peter David. 29. Reception. Box office. Battleship grossed $65.4 million in the United States and Canada, and $237.6 million in other territories, for a worldwide total of $303 million, against a production budget of $209 million. 2. In May 2012, The Hollywood Reporter estimated that Universal would lose $150 million on the film. 30. The film opened in several territories on Wednesday, April 11, 2012, 5 weeks before its North America release, grossing $7.4 million. 31. Through April 13, the film had earned a 3-day total of $25 million. 32. By the end of its opening weekend, it earned $55.2 million from 26 markets, ranking second behind the 3D re-release of Titanic. 33. In its second weekend, it topped the box office outside North America, with $60 million. 34. In South Korea, it achieved the highest grossing opening day for a non-sequel and the third highest overall, $2.8 million. 32. In comparison to other Hasbro films, Battleship's opening in the United Kingdom, £3.76 million, was behind the first Transformers, £8.72 million, but did better than G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra, £1.71 million. 35. In the United States, Battleship grossed $8.8 million on its opening day, with $420,000 from midnight showings. 36. It went on to debut to $25.5 million, finishing in second place behind Marvel's The Avengers. 37. 38. 39. Critical response. Rotten Tomatoes reports that 34% of 225 critics gave the film a positive review and an average rating of 4.6/10. The site's critics' consensus reads, "It may offer energetic escapism for less demanding film-goers, but Battleship is too loud, poorly written, and formulaic to justify its expense and a lot less fun than its source material." 40. Metacritic assigned the film a weighted average score of 41 out of 100, based on 39 critics, indicating mixed or average reviews. 41 audiences polled by CinemaScore gave the film an average grade of B on an A and to F scale. 42. Megan Lehman of The Hollywood Reporter thought that the impressive visual effects and director Peter Berg's epic set pieces fight against an armada of cinematic cliches and some truly awful dialogue. 43. Empire magazine's Nick de Semlyen felt there was a lack of character development and memorable action shots, and sums up his review of the movie in one word: miss. 44. Many reviews criticized the based on a board game concept driving the film, although some, such as Jason De Rosso from the Australian Broadcasting Corporation's Radio National, claimed the ridiculousness of the setup is either sheer joy or pure hell depending on how seriously you take it, while de Semlyen had to admire the film's creators jumping through hoops to engineer a sequence that replicates the board game. 44. 45. 46. Several compared the film to Michael Bay's Transformers film series in terms of quality and cinematic style, with Giles Hardy of the Sydney Morning Herald claiming that the movie finds the same balance between action-packed imagination and not taking the premise seriously that made Michael Bay's original Transformers such a joyride. 43. 45. Andrew Harrison of Q magazine called the film crushingly stupid. 47. Film critic Kenneth Turin, in a review written for the Los Angeles Times, also expressed disappointment, criticizing the film's humanoid aliens, stating that they are as ungainly as the movie itself, clunking around in awkward, protective suits. He called the content all very earnest, but added it's not a whole lot of fun. 48. Peter Travers of Rolling Stone gave the film 1 out of 4 stars, and he commented Battleship is all noise and crashing metal, sinking to the shallows of Michael Bay's Armageddon and then digging to the brain extinction level of the Transformers trilogy. 49. Other critics were less harsh for Battleship. Writing for Time, Stephen James Snyder was somewhat positive because he had low expectations of the film. He wrote, "The creative team behind this ocean-bound thriller decided to fill the narrative black hole with a few ingredients all but absent from today's summer tentpoles, namely mystery, nostalgia, and a healthy dose of humility, and described it as an unlikely mix of Independence Day, Pearl Harbor, Jurassic Park and The Hunt for Red October." 50. Giving it a B and grade, Lisa Schwartzbaum of Entertainment Weekly said, "For every line of Howler dialogue that should have been sunk, there's a nice little scene in which humans have to make a difficult decision. For every stretch of generic sci-fi via CGI movie making, there's a welcome bit of wit." 51 The Washington Post gave the film a 3-star rating out of 4, commenting it is an invigorating blast of cinematic adrenaline. 52 Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times gave the film 2.5 stars out of 4, praising the climax as an honest-to-God third act, instead of just settling for non-stop fireballs and explosions, as Bay likes to do. "I don't want to spoil it for you. Let's say the greatest generation still has the right stuff and leave it at that." 53 The military rank of lieutenant is the commissioned officer rank title associated with pay grades 03 and 02 in the United States Armed Forces military branches of the United States Navy and the United States Coast Guard. It is also used in the commissioned officer ranks of the United States Uniformed Services of the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration with their National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration Commissioned Officer Corps, NOAACU, and the medical arm of the United States Public Health Service with their United States Public Health Service Commissioned Corps, PHSCC. The rank of lieutenant is divided between the following. Lieutenant, pay grade 03, abbreviated as LT and equivalent to a captain in the U.S. Army, U.S. Marine Corps, U.S. Air Force and U.S. Space Force. Lieutenant, junior grade, pay grade 02, abbreviated as LTJG and sometimes referred as Lieutenant JG. It is equivalent to the rank of First Lieutenant, 02, sometimes called simply Lieutenant, in the United States Army, Marine Corps, Air Force, and Space Force. Neither of the above naval-style ranks should be confused with the rank of Second Lieutenant, pay grade 01, in the U.S. Army, Air Force, Marine Corps, and Space Force, which is equivalent to the rank of Ensign in the Navy, Coast Guard, NOAACU and PHSCC. During the American Civil War, 1861-1865, brevet second lieutenants in the Federal Union Army and Southern Confederate States Army were sometimes also known as third lieutenants. Civilian police and fire departments in the United States may also use the rank of Lieutenant. Robin Rihanna Fenty, /RIN/Rian 34N1 born February 20, 1988, is a Barbadian singer, businesswoman, and actress. She has had a significant cultural impact through both her music and fashion ventures. Rihanna is one of the wealthiest and best-selling musicians of all time, with estimated sales of 250 million records. Her accolades include 9 Grammy Awards, 12 Billboard Music Awards, and 13 American Music Awards, with nominations for an Academy Award and a Golden Globe. Rihanna was discovered by producer Evan Rogers and signed to Def Jam Recordings in 2005. She debuted with the Caribbean-inspired records Music of the Sun, 2005, and A Girl Like Me, 2006, both of which reached the top 10 of the U.S. Billboard 200. The albums respectively spawned the singles P.O. and A Replay and SOS, which peaked at number 2 and 1 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100, respectively. Adopting a more mature image, Rihanna transitioned to dance pop and R&B on the album Good Girl Gone Bad, 2007, and its reissue, subtitled Reloaded, 2008. The project spawned a string of successful singles, including the U.S. #1 songs Umbrella, Take a Bow, and Disturbia. After exploring darker and more personal themes on the rock-imbued record Rated R, 2009, Rihanna returned to her more upbeat sound on the dance pop album Loud, 2010, later incorporating R&B on Talk That Talk, 2011, the synth pop set Unapologetic, 2012, became her first album to top the Billboard 200. The albums contained the U.S. #1 singles Rude Boy, Only Girl, In the World, What's My Name, S&M, We Found Love, and Diamonds. After her departure from Def Jam in favor of Jay-Z's label, Roc Nation, she released the dance hall-influenced record Anti, 2016, which became her second chart-topping album, yielding the U.S. #1 single Work. Her films include Battleship, 2012, Home, 2015, Ocean's 8, 2018, and Smurfs, 2025. The highest certified female digital single artist by Recording Industry Association of America, RIAA, Rihanna has 7 U.S. Diamond certified singles and 14 number 1 singles on the Billboard Hot 100. Outside entertainment, Rihanna is known for her business ventures. She founded the non-profit Clara Lionel Foundation, the cosmetics brand Fenty Beauty, and fashion brand Fenty under LVMH, becoming the first black woman to lead a luxury brand for the group. She was named an ambassador by the government of Barbados and declared a national hero of Barbados in 2021. Rihanna has been listed amongst history's greatest artists by publications such as Rolling Stone and Billboard. Life and career. 1988-2002, early life. A small house prominently colored in red, green, and orange. Rihanna's parents' house in Bridgetown, just a few meters from the city's harbor. Robin Rihanna Fenty was born in St. Michael, Barbados, on February 20, 1988. 5'6". She is the daughter of Monica, née Braithwaite, an Afro-Guyanese accountant, and Ronald Fenty, a Barbadian warehouse supervisor of African, Irish, English, and Scottish descent. 8, 9, 10. Rihanna has 2 younger brothers, Rory and Rajat Fenty, as well as 2 half-sisters and a half-brother, Candy, Samantha, and Jamie, from her father's previous relationships. 11, 12. She was raised in a 3-bedroom bungalow in Bridgetown and helped her father sell clothes at a street stall. 13, 14. Her childhood was affected by her father's struggles with alcoholism and crack cocaine addiction, which strained her parents' marriage. 15, 16, 17. Rihanna has spoken about witnessing her father physically abuse her mother. 18, retrospectively describing her as one of the strongest women I know, if not the strongest. 11. As a child, Rihanna suffered from intense headaches that required multiple CT scans, with doctors once suspecting a tumor. Her health began to improve after her parents divorced when she was 14. 19, 2021. She attended Charles F. Broome Memorial Primary School and Comer Mere School. 22, 23. One of her teachers described her as a well-behaved student who stayed out of trouble. 23. She showed an interest in singing, dancing, and poetry. Rihanna began listening to reggae artists such as SZA and Damian Marley, as well as R&B musicians like Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey. 24, 25. At the age of 11, she became a cadet in Barbados's Cadet Corps, with future singer Chantelly as her drill sergeant. 24. Though she initially planned to finish high school, she ultimately dropped out at age 16 to pursue a music career. 26. 2003-2006, career beginnings with Music of the Sun and A Girl Like Me. In 2003, Rihanna formed a music trio with 2 classmates in Barbados. 27. Unnamed and without original material, the girl group auditioned for American producer Evan Rogers, who recalled that the minute Rihanna walked into the room, it was like the other 2 girls didn't exist. 28, 29. The trio went on to perform a cover of Destiny's Child's Emotion. 28, 30. Impressed, Rogers arranged a second meeting with Rihanna and her mother, this time without the other 2 girls, and later invited her and her mother to his hometown in Connecticut to record demo tapes for record label submissions. 31, 32. Rihanna's demo tape included tracks like P.O. and a Replay and The Last Time. 33, 34. In 2005, she became the first artist to sign with Syndicated Rhythm Productions, the production company founded by Rogers and Carl Stickin. 31, 35. Rihanna's demo was sent to rapper Jay-Z, who had just become the president and CEO of the record label Def Jam Recordings. 36, 37. Although Jay-Z initially thought P.O. and a Replay was too big for a new artist, he invited Rihanna to audition. In early 2005, she performed in New York City for Jay-Z and music executive Antonio L.A. Reid, singing Whitney Houston's For the Love of You along with demo tracks P.O. and a Replay and The Last Time. 31, 38, 39. Jay-Z was convinced she had potential. 40. And Reid instructed him not to let her leave the building without signing a deal. 41. She waited in Jay-Z's office while lawyers finalized a 6-album contract with Def Jam. 42 Rihanna cancelled meetings with other labels and, shortly after turning 16, relocated from Barbados to the US, finishing her high school education with a tutor. 34-43. Rihanna, in her late teens, facing the other way of the camera under a red light. Rihanna performing at the KIIS-FM Jingle Ball in December 2005. After signing with Def Jam, Jay-Z and his team spent 3 months completing the Rihanna's debut studio album. 44-45. She collaborated with various producers, primarily Rodgers and Steichen. 44. PO and a Replay was selected as the lead single for its summer appeal. 46. The song was released in May 2005 and became a commercial success, reaching number 2 on both the US Billboard Hot 100 and the UK Singles Chart. 47-48. 34. Her debut studio album, Music of the Sun, was released on August 29, 2005. It debuted at number 10 on the US Billboard 200 with first week sales of 69,000 units. The album has since sold 2 million copies worldwide. 49-50. Its second single, If It's Lovin' That You Want, saw moderate success, peaking at number 36 in the US. 51. Rihanna made her acting debut with a cameo in the straight-to-DVD film Bring It On, All or Nothing, 2006, in which she portrayed herself. 52. Soon after releasing Music of the Sun, Rihanna began working on her second studio album. Titled A Girl Like Me, the record was released in the United States on April 25, 2006. 53-54. The album was a commercial success, reaching number 5 in both the US and the UK, and selling 115,000 copies in its first week. 55-56. It became her first RIAA-certified double platinum album, surpassing 1 million units sold. 57. The lead single, SOS, became her first song to reach number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and also topped the charts in Australia. 58. The follow-up singles Unfaithful, We Ride and Break It Off saw moderate chart performance but failed to match the success of SOS. 59. 2007-2008, stardom with Good Girl Gone Bad. In early 2007, Rihanna featured on the single Roll It alongside Jamaican band J Status and fellow Barbadian artist Sean Telly from the former's debut album The Beginning. 60. Around this time, Rihanna had begun work on her third studio album. 61. Aiming to shed her girl next door image in favor of a more mature and rebellious persona, she teamed up with producers like Nayo, Timbaland, Justin Timberlake, and Tricky Stewart for her third studio album. 62. The record, titled Good Girl Gone Bad, was released on May 31, 2007, to critical acclaim. 63-64. Described as a turning point in Rihanna's career. 65. It represents a departure from the Caribbean sound of her previous releases. 66. With the singer embracing a new musical direction through up-tempo dance tracks. 67-68. The album sold 162,000 copies first week and charted at number 2 on the Billboard 200. 69. Rihanna with a bob cut performing into a microphone on a stage. Rihanna performing at the Good Girl Gone Bad tour in 2008. The lead single from Good Girl Gone Bad, Umbrella, featuring rapper Jay-Z, was named one of the 500 greatest songs of all time by Rolling Stone. 70. The song topped the charts in several territories, spending 10 consecutive weeks at number 1 on the UK Singles Chart and 7 at number 1 on the US Billboard Hot 100. 71. The following singles, Shut Up and Drive and Hate That I Love You, saw moderate success, while the album's fourth single, Don't Stop the Music, became a globally successful song. 72-73. In support of the album, Rihanna embarked on the Good Girl Gone Bad tour in September 2007, performing 80 shows across 30 countries worldwide. 74. At the 2008 Grammy Awards, she received multiple nominations for Good Girl Gone Bad and won the Grammy Award for Best Rap/Sung Collaboration for Umbrella alongside Jay-Z. 75. In late 2008, she released Rehab, the fifth and final single from Good Girl Gone Bad. It peaked within the top 20 of the charts in both the US and UK. 76 having sold 9 million copies as of 2023, Good Girl Gone Bad is her best-selling album worldwide. 50 Entertainment Weekly named her Diva of the Year and praised her newfound staying power. 77 In the late 2000s, Rihanna continued to increasingly distance herself from her Barbados Island girl image. 31 In April 2008, Rihanna joined Kanye West as a supporting act on his Glow in the Dark tour. 78 In June, she released Good Girl Gone Bad, Reloaded, a reissue of her third studio album 66, selling 63,000 copies first week. It helped the original album rise to number 7 in the US. 79. Reloaded spawned 4 new tracks, 2 of which Disturbia and Take A Bow topped the Billboard Hot 100. 80 Soon after the release of Reloaded, she issued Good Girl Gone Bad Live, a DVD documentary featuring Rihanna's December 2007 concert at the Manchester Arena in Manchester. 81 In 2008, she announced her romantic relationship with singer Chris Brown and later topped the Hot 100 once again with a feature on rapper T.I.'s song Live Your Life. 82-83. 2009-2011, Domestic Violence Case, Rated R, and Loud. Rihanna, her right hand holding and performing into a microphone, with her left pointing at someone in the crowd. Rihanna performing at the Last Girl on Earth tour in 2010. On February 8, 2009, Rihanna was forced to cancel her scheduled performance at the 51st Annual Grammy Awards following reports that she had been physically assaulted by Brown, her then-boyfriend. 84 He later turned himself into authorities and was booked on suspicion of making criminal threats. On March 5, 2009, he was formally charged with assault and making criminal threats. 85 The case garnered widespread media attention, particularly after TMZ published a leaked police photograph showing Rihanna with visible injuries. In response to the breach of privacy, the advocacy group Stopparazzi proposed Rihanna's law, aimed at preventing law enforcement personnel from releasing sensitive images or information that exploit crime victims. 86. The case raised concerns about media ethics and the treatment of domestic violence victims, especially regarding the near-universal disclosure of Rihanna's identity, an uncommon practice in such cases. 87 Rihanna was later subpoenaed to testify at a preliminary hearing in Los Angeles on June 22, 2009. 88 The incident and its aftermath influenced her artistically, prompting her to begin work on her fourth studio album, Rated R, in early 2009. 89-90 Released on November 20, 2009. 91 Rated R marked a shift away from the upbeat sound of Rihanna's earlier albums, embracing a darker, more introspective tone with rock influences. 92-93 The album debuted at number 4 on the Billboard 200 chart and sold 181,000 copies in its first week. 94 Its single Rude Boy peaked atop the Hot 100 for 6 weeks, becoming the best-selling song from Rated R. 95 Two other singles from the album, Russian Roulette and Hard, both peaked at within the top 10 of the US chart. 96 In support of the album, Rihanna embarked on the Last Girl on Earth tour in 2010. 97. Rihanna, with curly hair, performing on stage into a microphone. Rihanna performing at the Loud tour in 2011. Rihanna entered an on and off relationship with Canadian rapper Drake in 2009. 98 In June 2010, she collaborated with rapper Eminem on the single Love the Way You Lie from his album Recovery. In the United States, it topped the Billboard Hot 100 for 7 consecutive weeks. In the UK, it peaked at number 2 on the singles chart and became the best-selling song of 2010. 99 In October 2010, Rihanna switched management, signing with Jay-Z's Roc Nation. 100 Rihanna returned to her more upbeat sound with her fifth studio album, Loud, which was released on November 12, 2010. 101 A dance pop record 101 Loud debuted at number 3 in the US with first week sales of 207,000 copies. 102 It spawned 3 Billboard Hot 100 number 1 songs, the lead single Only Girl, in the World, What's My Name, featuring Drake, and S&M, which topped the chart following the release of its remix featuring Britney Spears. 103 With the achievement, Rihanna became the youngest and fastest solo artist in Billboard Hot 100 history to accumulate 10 #1 singles. 104 105 At the 53rd Grammy Awards in 2010, Only Girl, in the World, won Best Dance Recording. 106 The songs Man Down, California King Bed, and Cheers, Drink to That, were released as singles from Loud in 2011. 107 108 To support the album, Rihanna launched the Loud Tour in June 2011, which included a record-breaking 10 sold-out shows at the O2 Arena in London, the most by a female artist in the venue's history. 109 110 The tour grossed $90 million, making it one of the highest-grossing tours worldwide that year. 111 Also in 2011, she embarked on 3 successful collaborations: West's All of the Lights from My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, 2010, 112 Nicki Minaj's Fly from her debut album Pink Friday, 2010, 113 and David Guetta's Who's That Chick, from One More Love, 2010. 114. 2011-2013, Talk That Talk and Unapologetic. Rihanna aimed to explore more sexually expressive themes on her 6th studio album, Talk That Talk 115-116, which was released on November 18, 2011. 117 A dance-oriented pop and R&B album. 116-118 Talk That Talk opened at number 3 on the US Billboard 200 with first week sales of 198,000 copies. 117 While debuting atop the UK singles chart with 163,000 units sold. 119 The album's lead single, We Found Love, became a worldwide chart topper. 120 It spent 10 non-consecutive weeks at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, making it both Rihanna's longest-running chart-topping single and the longest-running number 1 song in the US in 2011. 121 122 The follow-up singles, You Da 123 The title track featuring Jay-Z 124 and Where Have You Been 125 achieved more moderate success. The lattermost was the most successful of the 3, peaking at number 5 in the US. 126. Rihanna on stage, wearing a red crop top and long dress, singing into a microphone on stage. Rihanna performing at the Diamonds World Tour in 2013. In early 2012, Rihanna appeared on 2 major collaborations, Coldplay's Princess of China and Drake's Take Care. 127 128 That February, she won the Grammy Award for Best Rap/Sung Collaboration for All of the Lights with West 129 and was named Best International Female Solo Artist at the Brit Awards for the 2nd year in a row. 130 In March, Rihanna and Brown released 2 controversial remixes, her track Birthday Cake and his Turn Up the Music, which were criticized due to their history of domestic violence. 131 132 In September 2012, We Found Love won Video of the Year at the MTV Video Music Awards, making Rihanna the first woman to receive the honor more than once. 133 134 Rihanna's 7th studio album, titled Unapologetic, was released on November 19, 2012. 135 A synth-pop record with EDM and hip-hop elements. 136 137 Unapologetic debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200 with first week sales of 238,000 copies, becoming Rihanna's first chart-topping album in the United States. 138 The album's lead single, Diamonds, topped the US Billboard Hot 100, becoming Rihanna's 12th number 1 song on the chart. 139 The album's second single, Stay, a collaboration with Mickey Echo, reached number 3 in the US. 140 To promote the album ahead of its release, Rihanna embarked on the 777 tour, performing 7 shows in 7 countries over the course of 7 days. 141 A documentary about the tour aired on Fox in May 2013, followed by the release of a DVD version the next day, her third long-form live video. 142 In January 2013, Rihanna and Brown had rekindled their relationship. 143 Although he remained under probation for their 2009 domestic violence case. 144 The two broke up 4 months later. 145 Rihanna made her feature film debut as Petty Officer Cora Rakes in Battleship, 2012. 146 147 Loosely inspired by the board game of the same name. 148 Both the film and Rihanna's performance received mixed to negative reviews. 149 Neil Genslinger, writing for the New York Times, remarked she was just fine in the rather generic role. 150 In February 2013, Rihanna won the Grammy Award for Best Short-Form Music Video for the music video of We Found Love, 2011. 126 That same month, the official charts company reported she had sold 3.87 million records in the country over the past year, placing her at number 1 among the 2013 Brit Awards artist nominees. 151 Her fifth headlining tour, the Diamonds World Tour, launched in March 2013 in support of Unapologetic. 152 Rihanna made a cameo in the comedy film This Is the End, 2013, 153 and later collaborated with rapper Whale on his remix of the single Bad. 154 In December 2013, she topped both the Billboard Hot 100 and UK Singles Chart with a feature on Eminem's song The Monster. 155 156 2014-2017, standalone releases and Anti. Rihanna performing on stage. Rihanna performing at the Concert for Valor in 2014. In 2014, Rihanna featured on Shakira's single Can't Remember to Forget You. 157 Following the release of Unapologetic and the ensuing tour, she expressed a desire to take a break from recording, saying she wanted a year to just do whatever I want artistically, creatively. 158 In May of that year, she officially parted ways with Def Jam Recordings and transitioned fully to Roc Nation, the label that had been managing her career since October 2010. 159 While working on her 8th studio album, Rihanna released the single For 5 Seconds, a collaboration with Kanye West and Paul McCartney. Bitch Better Have My Money, and American Oxygen. 160 161 162 None of the three appeared on the album's final track list. 163 In 2015, she starred alongside Jim Parsons and Jennifer Lopez as the voice of Tip in the animated film Home. Rihanna also curated and released a concept album as its soundtrack. 164. In late 2015, Rihanna signed a $25 million deal with Samsung to promote its Galaxy product line, with the company also sponsoring the rollout of her 8th studio album, titled Anti, and its accompanying tour. 165 166 The album was released exclusively on Tidal on January 28, 2016. 167 A dancehall and psychedelic soul record. 168 169 Anti peaked at number 1 on the Billboard 200, marking her second chart-topping record in the U.S. 170 The lead single, Work, topped the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 chart. 171 with the third and fourth singles, Needed Me and Love on the Brain, peaking within the number 10. 172 173 Announced in November 2015, the Anti-World Tour launched in March 2016 in support of the album, featuring Travis Scott as the North American opener and Big Sean on select European dates. 174 The Weeknd was originally slated to join parts of the European leg but withdrew due to unforeseen changes in upcoming projects. 175. In 2016, Rihanna appeared as a featured artist on multiple singles, West's famous, uncredited vocals, 176 Calvin Harris's This Is What You Came For, 177 Drake's Too Good, 178 and Mike Will Made It's Nothing Is Promised. 179 This Is What You Came For was a commercial success, peaking at number 2 and 3 in the UK and US, respectively. 177 180 In June 2016, Rihanna released Sledgehammer as part of the film soundtrack for Star Trek Beyond. 181 In August, she was honored with the Michael Jackson Video Vanguard Award at the 2016 MTV Video Music Awards, where she performed a series of medleys of her most successful songs. 182 183 In 2017, she featured on Future's Selfish. 184 DJ Khaled's Wild Thoughts. 185 Kendrick Lamar's Loyalty. 186 In N.E.R.D.S. Lemon. 187 Loyalty won the Her and Lamar the Grammy Award for Best Rap/Sung Performance. 188. In 2017, Rihanna portrayed Marion Crane in a recurring role during the 5th and final season of Bates Motel, which was met with widespread critical acclaim. 189 190 In Luc Besson's sci-fi film Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets, 2017, she played a shape-shifting, burlesque-style entertainer and performer in a space station club. She starred alongside Dane DeHaan and Cara Delevingne. 191 192 193 That year, Rihanna began dating Saudi businessman Hassan Jameel. Their relationship ended 3 years later. 194 195 196 2018 Present, Hiatus, Motherhood, and Super Bowl LVII Halftime Show. Rihanna was part of the all-female ensemble cast of the heist film Ocean's 8, 2018, directed by Gary Ross. 197 198 The film was a major box office success, earning $300 million globally. 199 In October 2017, British artist Shaka revealed he had been collaborating with Rihanna on what he described as her absolutely insane upcoming album. In December 2018, Rihanna confirmed that the album would be released in 2019. 200 and later announced that it is a reggae project. 201 Alongside Donald Glover, she starred in the film Guava Island, 2019, in which she played Glover's love interest. 202 In September 2019, it was announced that she had signed with Sony/ATV Music Publishing. 203 In December 2019, Rihanna alluded to her album being complete and indefinitely withholding the release date in an Instagram post. 204. During this period, Rihanna appeared on Canadian singer Party Next Door's song Believe It, which was released on March 27, 2020. 205 American rapper A$AP Rocky confirmed that he and Rihanna were in a relationship in May 2021. 206 She gave birth to their first son the following year. 207 On October 28, 2022, she released the lead single from the soundtrack of the film Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, titled Lift Me Up, her first solo musical release since Auntie. 208 The song earned her nominations for the Golden Globe and Academy Award for Best Original Song. 209 On February 12, 2023, she headlined the Super Bowl LVII halftime show. 210 which marked her first live performance in over 5 years, and the end of her previously self-imposed boycott of the event, which she instigated in solidarity with Colin Kaepernick. 211 Initial reports stated that the performance drew 118.7 million viewers across television and digital platforms. 212 However, Nielsen Media Research later revised the figure to 121.017 million, making it the most watched Super Bowl halftime show in history, surpassing Katy Perry's Super Bowl XLIX performance. 213. The Super Bowl performance earned her 5 Primetime Emmy Award nominations, including 1 for Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Variety Special, Live. 214 Rihanna gave birth their second son in 2023, having previously revealed her pregnancy during the halftime performance, making her the first person to headline a Super Bowl halftime show while pregnant. 215 216 In 2025, she voiced Smurfette in the film Smurfs, which saw negative reviews from critics. 217 In May that year, while appearing at the Met Gala, Rihanna revealed she was pregnant with her third child. 218. Artistry. Music and voice. Rihanna is a mezzo-soprano, with a range spanning from B2 to C6. 219 220 221 While recording tracks for her third studio album, Good Girl Gone Bad, 2007, Rihanna took vocal lessons from Neyo. She said of the experience, "I've never had vocal training, so when I'm in the studio, he'll tell me how to breathe and stuff. He'll call out these big fancy words, okay, I want you to do staccato. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what that is." 68 Her vocal performance on Loud, 2010, received positive reviews from music critics. James Skinner from BBC praised Rihanna's vocals on the song Love the Way You Lie, Part 2, and wrote that her voice is powerful and that it is Rihanna's vocal at once commanding, soulful, and vulnerable that anchors the song, and Loud itself. 222 Andy Gill from The Independent feels that California King Bed features her best vocal performance. 223 In a review of Unapologetic, Billboard magazine wrote, Diamonds finds Rihanna doing one of her throatiest, most impassioned vocals to date, on this inspirational pop ballad. 224 John Caramanica of the New York Times stated, over the years, as her game face froze in place, her voice cured into a weapon of emotional chill and strategic indifference. It's decidedly unfriendly, made to give orders. 225 In 2023, Rolling Stone ranked Rihanna at number 68 on its list of the 200 greatest singers of all time. 226. My music is just imagination, being creative, that's what my music is composed with. Being creative and thinking of situations, whether situations I went through or situations I've observed people going through. I can't tell you where I'll see myself in 5 years, but I can tell you I will work my best to be the most successful artist that I can be in 5 years. I want to be remembered as Rihanna. Remembered as being an artist from the Caribbean who came here and made it internationally. Just remembered as me, 'cause I'm true to my music, and I just want people to realize that and appreciate me for that. Rihanna during her first interview with MTV News. 227. Growing up in Barbados, she mainly listened to reggae, hip-hop, and soca music. 228 When she first came to the US, she was exposed to different types of music with rock being one of them, and I fell in love with it. Now I love rock music. 228 During her debut, she recorded songs that were inspired by her Caribbean roots and described her early sound as a fusion of reggae, hip-hop, and R&B, with a little something different thrown in. 39 229 Her early dancehall roots can be found on her debut album, Music of the Sun, and its follow-up, A Girl Like Me. 230 Her debut album demonstrates the influence of Rihanna's musical heritage of the Caribbean. Khalifa Sunna of the New York Times complimented its combination of dancehall and reggae, who said, "Dancehall reggae sometimes seems like a furiously insular form of music, but Rihanna is only the latest singer to discover how versatile the genre's spring-loaded electronic rhythms can be." 231 Her debut single, P.O. and a Replay features a dance-hall pop mixture that infuses a reggae style, while If It's Lovin' That You Want talks about a girl seducing a male to be her boyfriend. 232 Aiming for artistic growth, A Girl Like Me expresses personal experiences that typical 18-year-old girls go through with ballads that were described as elegant and mature. 233 After her second album, she slowly dismissed her dancehall and reggae roots. Rihanna's musical career has been an experiment with new musical ideas and stated that she wants to make music that could be heard in parts of the world that I'd never been to. 234 With its provocative subject matter and lyrics, she began incorporating a wide range of genres including pop, R&B, reggae, dubstep, hip-hop and EDM. 235 During a review for Good Girl Gone Bad, Slant magazine to write that Rihanna finally figured out that she's a dance artist and the majority of the album is comprised of up-tempo dance pop songs like Push Up On Me and Don't Stop the Music. 236 It represents a departure from the Caribbean sound of her previous albums and is described as a turning point in her career. 237 238 While the first half of the record shares many 1980s pop influences with songs like Don't Stop the Music and Shut Up and Drive, the second half retreats into standard R&B. 21 239 Recorded after the assault by her then-boyfriend, Chris Brown, Rated R had a much darker tone and was filled with various emotions she experienced throughout 2009. 240 In her fifth album Loud, Rihanna reflects on the fun and energetic vibe she had while recording the album. 241 The album is a mixture of ballads, party anthems, and empowering love songs. 242 Talk That Talk was similar to Rated R, as both contain hip-hop, R&B, dancehall, and dubstep genres. 243 Loud and Talk That Talk saw her explore sexuality in her work, S&M and Birthday Cake, and return to her dancehall roots, Man Down and Watch and Learn. 244 She also branched out into house music with tracks like We Found Love, Only Girl, In the World, and Complicated. 245 Her songs are also inspired through record sampling from other artists. 246 Influences. Rihanna has cited Madonna, pictured, as her idol and biggest influence. Rihanna has named Madonna as her idol and biggest influence. She said that she wanted to be the Black Madonna and praised her ability to reinvent herself throughout her career. 247 She noted, I think that Madonna was a great inspiration for me, especially on my earlier work. If I had to examine her evolution through time, I think she reinvented her clothing style and music with success every single time. And at the same time remained a real force in entertainment in the whole world. 247 Another major influence on Rihanna's music and career has been Mariah Carey, whose song Hero she performed when Rihanna was still a teenager at her high school talent show. 248 She revealed that Carey's song Vision of Love was the song that made her want to do music. 249 250 In her youth, she would see Bob Marley on television because of his fame in the Caribbean. 251 She stated, he's one of my favorite artists of all time. He really paved the way for every other artist out of the Caribbean. 252 She built a shrine in her home dedicated to the reggae legend and has covered Marley's Is This Love and Bob Marley and the Wailers' Redemption song during her concert tours. 253 254 During her childhood, she would go around singing Whitney Houston songs and A Whole New World into her hairbrush so much that her neighbors started calling her Robin Redbreast. 255 She also stated that one of the first songs she remembers falling in love with was Houston's version of I Will Always Love You and that it was really inspiring, and it made me develop a passion for music, so really, she's partly responsible for me being here in this industry. 256 257 Rihanna was also influenced by Janet Jackson, Aaliyah, Tupac, Beyoncé, and Destiny's Child. 258 259 260 261 Other musical influences and idols include Celine Dion 262 Grace Jones 263 Lil Kim 264 Alicia Keys 265 Prince 266 Fief Dobson 267 268 and Brandy. 21 Rihanna takes influence from the different types of music she discovered when she came to America and revealed that rock music was one of the first genres she fell in love with. 228 She commented, as I grow older, I want to know more about music. I want to discover more types of music. 21 She cited Brandy's fourth studio album, Aphrodisiac, 2004, as her main inspiration for her third album, Good Girl Gone Bad, 2007. 21 In her early career, her music contained strong influences of Caribbean music, including reggae and dancehall. 269 The music video of the song Rude Boy featured images inspired by her Caribbean roots. 269. Videos and stage. Rihanna has worked with music video director Anthony Mandler on more than a dozen music videos, the first being Unfaithful, 2006. 270. We've done 16 videos together. They're not all tough, yet, I'm known for the Disturbias and the Russian roulettes and things like that, but Only Girl in the World is certainly an ethereal kind of empowering, beauty-filled video, Mandler said. 270. Jocelyn Vina of MTV wrote, Rihanna, like Madonna, also has a tendency to make truly thought-provoking music videos that fit the songs they represent. Smattered in between glitzier, more glamorous clips, match, and I want us to think about bigger issues. 245. John Bream of the Star Tribune commented, in the tradition of Madonna and Janet Jackson, Rihanna has become the video vixen of the 00s. Rihanna has perfected the pout, the long-legged strut, and trend-setting hairdos that keep women and men alike checking her out on YouTube. 271. George Epaminondas of InStyle considers Rihanna's music videos to be cinematic due to her blend of lush island rhythms and swinging pop and mischievous sensuality. 272. Rihanna performing on Last Girl on Earth tour in Australia. Many of her music videos were shot as short films exploring issues such as love triangles, abuse, and substance abuse romance, including We Found Love and Man Down. 245. Her music video for Umbrella shows Rihanna's transition into adulthood and her newly adopted image. 273. The dark, creepy scenes of Disturbia have been compared to Michael Jackson's Thriller. 271. 274. The video for Russian Roulette features Rihanna in a padded room playing a game of Russian roulette with her partner. A scene of Rihanna being approached by a speeding car at night was compared to the altercation with Chris Brown. 275. In 2011, Rihanna released 3 controversial music videos about sadomasochism, rape, and domestic violence. 276. Man Down, which features Rihanna shooting a man in a train station, was criticized by the Parents Television Council. 277. We Found Love, which shows Rihanna and her love interest in a drug-filled unhealthy relationship. 275. Sparked criticism from the Rape Crisis Center for its message. 278. Charn Graham of the Houston Press defended her, asking, why should Rihanna's music videos get everyone riled up when others equally sexual and controversial videos are in rotation? She just likes to make music videos that give us something to talk about. 276. Rihanna was the first woman to pass 2 billion cumulative views on the music video website Vivo. 279. Dennis Armstrong of Canadian Online Explorer commented on her performance at the Ottawa Blues Fest, saying her show was a Disney-esque choreographed fantasy of non-stop hip-swiveling, sassy attitude, and personal endearments in a string of funky, sugar-free hits. 280. Her performance of Disturbia at the 2008 MTV Video Music Awards was ranked 10th best on the MTV Video Music Awards, according to a Billboard poll. 281. Her revealing leather costumes during her Good Girl Gone Bad tour were highly criticized by the Pan-Malaysian Islamic Party, who recommended that her concert tour should be banned. 282. Whilst commenting on her third album's accompanying tour, The Times compared Rihanna's stage wardrobe styling to that of Janet Jackson and called her a vision of Ann Summers' couture in thigh-high boots and a few scraps of black PVC. 283. In the October 2011 issue of British Vogue, Rihanna said her performance outfits and appearances are all an act. That's not me. That's a part I play. You know, like it's a piece of art, with all these toys and textures to play with. 284. Public image. Rihanna wearing haute couture fashion at the 2017 Met Gala in Manhattan, representing the theme Rei Kawakubo/Comme des Garçons art of the in-between. Known for her style and image, the media have constantly followed the evolution of Rihanna's music and fashion sense. 285. In 2009, New York Magazine described Rihanna's early look as that of a cookie-cutter teen queen, noting she has the ability to shift looks dramatically and with such ease. 286 Around the time of the release of her second studio album, A Girl Like Me, 2006, many critics felt that Rihanna's style, sound and musical material were too similar to those of Beyoncé. 287-288 In an interview with Look magazine, Rihanna spoke about comparisons to Beyoncé. Beyoncé is a great artist and I feel honored to be mentioned in the same sentence, but we're different performers with different styles. 289 She revealed during Oprah's Next Chapter that Def Jam's Pop Princess blueprint made her feel claustrophobic during her early years with the label. 290 According to Rihanna, I felt like they were giving me a blueprint. They had a brand, they had an idea of what they wanted me to be without figuring out who I was. 291 With the release of her third album, Good Girl Gone Bad, 2007, Rihanna dismissed her innocent image for an edgier look with a new hairstyle, which was inspired by Charlize Theron's bob cut in the science fiction thriller In Flux, 2005. 292 She followed the likes of recording artists Janet Jackson and Christina Aguilera, who also shed their innocent image for an edgier look and sound. 293 Nico Amarca of High Snobiety magazine wrote, over the course of her now 10-year career, Rihanna has undergone one of the most significant aesthetic metamorphoses the world has ever seen. 294 Her image and fashion has changed several times with different hairstyles since the release of her third album. 295-296 She commented that as a child she used to watch her mother get dressed and that her love and admiration for fashion started with her mother. 297 When putting together her own wardrobe she stated, "It's become more about taking a risk. I always look for the most interesting silhouette or something that's a little off." 298 Jess Cartner-Morley of The Guardian wrote that Rihanna's wardrobe is the most talked about, influential, and dissected in pop right now, and that whatever she wears is immediately reproduced on the high street, because it sells. 299 Country singer Miranda Lambert admires Rihanna's fashion and style, stating, "I don't necessarily get inspired by the whole no bra thing, but I love that you never know what she's going to wear. It always keeps you guessing, which makes her sassy and interesting." 300. In an interview with Alexa Chung during Vogue Festival 2015, Balmain designer Olivier Rousteing praised Rihanna by stylistically comparing her to some of the biggest fashion icons in music history, such as Madonna, David Bowie, Michael Jackson, and Prince. 301 Commenting on the cultural expectation for pop stars to be role models, Rihanna said, "Being a role model became more of my job than I wanted it to be. But no, I just want to make music. That's it." 284 In a May 2013 interview with MTV, the Vagina Monologues writer and feminist Eve Ensler said, "I'm a huge Rihanna fan. I think she has a kind of agency over her sexuality and she's open about her sexuality. She has enormous grace and she's immensely talented." 302-303. Described as one of the sexiest women of her generation. 304-305 She revealed that being a sex symbol is not a priority and that it's definitely flattering, but also uncomfortable. 306 Her appearance has landed her on the cover of magazines such as Maxim, FHM, Rolling Stone. 307 And in December 2012, Rihanna became the first woman to be featured on the cover of GQ magazine's Men of the Year issue. 307 Rihanna made her first appearance at the Met Gala in 2007. 308 She has made 8 appearances in the years since. In 2015, for China, Through the Looking Glass, her Guo-Pei-designed yellow dress garnered the most attention of the event, accruing 1 billion impressions on social media. 309 The dress, which had taken 2 years to make before Rihanna came across it. 310 became the subject of a documentary by Pietra Brett Kelly, entitled Yellow is Forbidden. 311 She co-chaired the 2018 Heavenly Bodies, Fashion and the Catholic Imagination themed event, wearing Maison Margiela. 312 One of the richest celebrities, as of 2021, Rihanna is the world's wealthiest female musician with an estimated net worth of $1.7 billion. 313. She was also listed among Forbes' top 100 most powerful women of 2019. 314. In 2020, she debuted on the Sunday Times Rich list, claiming third place on the list of Britain's richest musicians. 315. Legacy. Rihanna is regarded by the media as a pop and fashion icon, particularly since her third studio album Good Girl Gone Bad, 2007. 316. 317. 318. 319. 320. Nick Levine of Digital Spy described Good Girl Gone Bad as the closest thing to a thriller that 2007/08 is likely to produce. 321. According to Rolling Stone, her single Umbrella and her eighth album Anti are regarded as among the 500 greatest songs of all time and 500 greatest albums of all time, respectively. 322. 323. Her single Work has been credited by a Billboard editor for bringing the dancehall genre to the forefront of mainstream American music. 324. Music critic Jason Green of Pitchfork described Rihanna as the most influential singer of the past decade, writing, "Rihanna's voice has become an industry-wide idea, a creative property like the Korg synth or Lindrum. We crave the thrill that you can only get when a dozen or so good ideas manifest themselves in a single voice. For the past 10 years, that voice has more or less been Rihanna's. Now that she's gleefully shredding it apart, she'll probably generate a whole new comet trail of Rihannabes. Inevitably, none of them will carry the charge, the glassy cool and subterranean heat, of the real thing." 325. Waxwork of Rihanna at Madame Tussauds, London. In August 2018, Billboard ranked Rihanna as the 10th biggest Hot 100 artist of all time, as well as the 5th biggest female act of all time. 326. 327. Billboard also ranked Rihanna the top Hot 100 artist of the 2010s decade. 328. In 2014, Time magazine's pop stardom ranking metric ranked Rihanna second in history, based on all-time chart performance and contemporary significance. 329. In 2013, Rihanna was also named the most influential pop star in the United Kingdom by UK Channel 4 MUSIC. 330. Moreover, Rihanna's work has influenced numerous artists such as Lorde 331, Sam Smith 332, Little Mix, Rita Ora 333, Billie Eilish 334, Selena Gomez 335, Justin Bieber 336, Ellie Goulding 337, Kim Petras 338, Jennie from Blackpink 339, Marilyn Manson 340, Jessie J 341, SZA 342, Fifth Harmony 343, Camila Cabello 344, Demi Lovato 345, Alexandra Stan 346, Grimes 347, Sleater Kinney 348, Tegan and Sarah 349, 350, Cover Drive 351, Cher Lloyd 352, Bad Girl 353, and Era Istrafy 354. Rihanna has become a dominating figure on social media and internet streaming, ranking at number 1 on Forbes' 2012 list of social networking superstars. 355. Time magazine included Rihanna on its 100 most influential people in the world issue in 2012 and 2018. 356 with Stella McCartney writing, "She's one of the coolest, hottest, most talented, most liked, most listened to, most followed, most impressive artists at work today, but she does it in her own stride. She works hard, very hard. She gives to her fans, friends, and foundation not just herself but her energy and spirit." 357. Rihanna was ranked one of the best dressed women in 2018, by luxury fashion retailer Net-a-Porter. 358. In 2023, Rolling Stone ranked her at 68 on their list of 200 greatest singers of all time. 359. Billboard placed her at number 3 on its 2024 Greatest Pop Stars of the 21st Century list. 360 and number 2 on its 2025 Top 100 Women Artists of the 21st Century list. 361. Rihanna has an honorary title of Ambassador for Culture and Youth in Barbados. 362 On February 22, 2008, former Barbados Prime Minister David Thompson launched the National Rihanna Day in their country. Although it is not a bank holiday, Barbadians celebrate it every year in honor of Rihanna. 363 364 365 366 In February 2017, Rihanna was named Harvard University's Humanitarian of the Year by the Harvard Foundation. 367 During Rihanna's third annual Diamond Ball, former U.S. President Barack Obama praised Rihanna's work and stated, "She's become a powerful force in the fight to give people dignity." 368 On September 20, 2018, Rihanna was appointed by the government of Barbados to be an ambassador extraordinary and plenipotentiary, with special duties of promoting education, tourism, and investment for the island. 369 370 371 At the 2020 NAACP Image Awards, hosted by BET, Rihanna accepted the President's Award from Derek Johnson. Johnson stated that Rihanna has not only enjoyed a groundbreaking career as an artist and musician but has also distinguished herself as a stellar public servant. From her business achievements through Fenty to her tremendous record as an activist and philanthropist, Rihanna epitomizes the type of character, grace, and devotion to justice that we seek to highlight in our President's Award. 372 Business Ventures. Rihanna's first fragrance, Rebelle Fleur, was released in January 2011. 373 According to Rolling Stone, Rebelle Fleur was a financial success and was expected to gross $80 million at retail by the end of 2011. 374 Rihanna's second fragrance, Rebelle, was released in February 2012. 375 The promotional campaign for Rebelle was shot by director Anthony Mandler, who also shot the promotional campaign for Rebelle Fleur. 376 In November 2012, Rihanna released her third fragrance, Nude. 377 Rihanna's fourth women's fragrance, titled Rogue, was released on September 14, 2013, followed by a male version entitled Rogue Men which was released in 2014. 378 379 On March 30, 2015, it was announced that Rihanna is a co-owner, with various other music artists, in the music streaming service Tidal. The service specializes in lossless audio and high-definition music videos. Jay-Z acquired the parent company of Tidal, Hasbro, in the first quarter of 2015. 380 Including Beyoncé and Jay-Z, 16 artist stakeholders, such as Kanye West, Beyoncé, Madonna, Chris Martin, Nicki Minaj, and more, co-own Tidal, with the majority owning a 3% equity stake. 381 The challenge is to get everyone to respect music again, to recognize its value, stated Jay-Z on the release of Tidal. 382 In 2016, it was revealed that Rihanna would be releasing her music through her own label Westbury Road Entertainment. 383 Which was established in 2005. 384 Westbury Road is the name of her Barbados residence. The music would be distributed through Universal Music Group. 385 386 Westbury Road Entertainment's artist roster includes Melissa Ford as the label's photographer. 387 And Kaze Loon. In November 2015, Rihanna and Benoit Demouy launched a beauty and stylist agency named thwart. The business based in Los Angeles was set up to assist artists in booking commercials, editorial shoots, ad campaigns, and red carpet appearances. Rihanna stated, "Hair, makeup, and styling play an important role in creativity. I am very involved with that part of my process, so this agency was an organic thing for me to do." The roster includes Rihanna's makeup artist Mila Morales, wardrobe stylist Jason Bolden, hairstylist Patricia Morales and Marsha Hamilton. 388 In addition to thwart, Rihanna opened a photo agency called A Dog Ate My Homework, which represents photographers Eric Isla and Deborah Anderson. 388. Fenty. Main article, Fenty, Fashion House. Fenty was a fashion brand by Rihanna under the luxury fashion group LVMH, which launched in May 2019. She was the first woman to create an original brand for LVMH and also the first woman of color to lead an LVMH brand. The house launched in a pop-up store on May 22, 2019, in Paris, before launching worldwide online on May 29 and included clothing, accessories, and footwear. It was the first line that LVMH had launched since 1987. The fashion brand was described as groundbreaking, and in a statement regarding the launch, Rihanna said that she had been given a unique opportunity to develop a fashion house in the luxury sector, with no artistic limits. 389. Due to the impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic, in February 2021, Rihanna and LVMH decided to put on hold her Fenty fashion house and continue building on the Savage X Fenty lingerie line. 390. Rihanna exclusively uses her surname for business endeavors not related to her music career so as not to conflate the two. 391. In January 2019, Rihanna filed a lawsuit against her father, Ronald Fenty, over the use of the Fenty name for commercial purposes. The lawsuit alleges Rihanna's cosmetics brand, Fenty Beauty, was damaged commercially by her father's company, Fenty Entertainment, through misrepresentation of his company being affiliated with her. 392. In September 2021, Rihanna dropped the lawsuit against her father. 393. Fenty Beauty. Main article, Fenty Beauty. Rihanna in a promotional video for Fenty Beauty in 2018. In 2017, Rihanna launched her cosmetics company Fenty Beauty under LVMH's Kendo brands. Rihanna owns 50% of Fenty Beauty, according to Forbes. 394. The partnership was worth $10 million and would see Rihanna release various beauty products. 395. The first installment of Fenty Beauty was released on September 8, 2017, in stores and online, available in over 150 countries. 396. It included an array of products including foundations, highlighters, bronzers, blush compacts, lip glosses and blotting sheets and was praised for its diverse range for all skin colors. 397. Time magazine named Fenty Beauty as one of the 25 best inventions of 2017, highlighting the breadth of its range. 398. In what has been dubbed the Fenty effect, the brand revolutionized the way other cosmetic brands approached diversity in marketing and product formulation. Suddenly beauty houses niche, establishment, and those in between began extending their shade ranges to accommodate a wider variety of skin tones. 40 shades became the new standard. 399. Savage X Fenty. Main article, Savage X Fenty. In 2018, Rihanna launched a lingerie brand named Savage X Fenty. The line was born from Rihanna's vision creating an inclusive brand. Products come in a variety of shades to match all skin tones in a range of sizes. 400. She showcased the brand at the New York Fashion Week in September 2018. The brand has been positively reviewed by the public for including plus-size models in their promotion, though some fans argued there were not enough plus sizes. 401. In September 2019, Rihanna promoted the brand in a show again during the New York Fashion Week held at the Barclays Center with modeling appearances from models Alex Wack, Bella Hadid, Cara Delevingne, actress Laverne Cox, and musicians Normani and 21 Savage. The show featured performances by DJ Khaled, Halsey, ASAP Ferg, Big Sean, Migos, Fat Joe, Fabulous, and Tierra Whack. 402 and premiered on Amazon Prime Video on September 20, 2019, as the Savage X Fenty Show. The show was renewed for a third time in 2020, with appearances from musicians such as Travis Scott, Rosalia, Bad Bunny, LMI, Lizzo, Big Sean, Miguel, Roddy Rick, and Rico Nasty. This version also premiered on Amazon Prime Video on October 2, 2020. 403. Fenty Skin. In July 2020, Rihanna launched a skincare brand called Fenty Skin. 404. Fenty Hair. In June 2024, Rihanna launched a hair care brand called Fenty Hair. The products of the brand are intended to be suitable for all hair types, textures, and routines. 405. Other ventures. Rihanna at her Fenty x Puma fashion show in February 2016. Rihanna has ventured into other businesses and industries. In October 2005, Rihanna struck an endorsement deal with Secret Body Spray. 406. In 2010, Rihanna featured in the Optus commercial, in conjunction with Optus supporting Rihanna's Last Girl on Earth. 407. The same year Rihanna also featured in the Kodak commercial along with rapper Pitbull. 408. In October 2010, she released a photo book 409 featuring photos from the Last Girl on Earth tour and served as an accompaniment to her fourth studio album Rated R, 2009. In 2011, Rihanna was the face of Nivea and Vita Coco. 410. 411. Her first television program, Styled to Rock, premiered in the UK in August 2012 on Sky Living. In the 10-week series, Rihanna, Nicola Roberts, Lisa Cooper, and Henry Holland assist up-and-coming British designers with their clothing lines. 412. The US version of Styled to Rock premiered on October 25, 2013, on Bravo. 413. In 2013, Rihanna collaborated with MAC Cosmetics and released her own summer, fall, and holiday lines of makeup called RIRI Hearts MAC. 414. In July 2013, blogger production company Budweiser announced that Rihanna had become a part of their global Made for Music campaign, also co-starring Jay-Z. 415. Early in her career, Rihanna made clear her interest in fashion and desire to work in the clothing design industry. Regarding this, she said, "Fashion has always been my defense mechanism." 416. In November 2011, Rihanna announced her first fashion venture with Armani. 417. In February 2013, Rihanna presented her first women's fashion collection at London Fashion Week for British brand River Island, collaborating with her personal stylist Adam Selman. 418. They published 3 more collections for the brand. 419. 420. Rihanna then collaborated with numerous fashion houses including Dior, Stance, and Manolo Blahnik. 421. 422. 423. In March 2015, Rihanna was chosen as the new face of Dior, making her the first black woman to be the face of the brand. 424. In 2014, Rihanna became the creative director of the fashion sportswear Puma, overseeing the brand's women's line, which will include collaborations in apparel and footwear. 425. The following year, Rihanna released her first trainer with Puma and it sold out online within 3 hours of its pre-sale launch. 426. Over the next 2 years, Rihanna released various other footwear in different colorways and styles, which were all met positively by both critics and buyers. 427. 428. 2016 saw Rihanna debut her first clothing line in collaboration with Puma at New York Fashion Week. The collection was met with rave reviews from fashion critics. 429. Philanthropy. Main article, Clara Lionel Foundation. In 2006, she created her Believe Foundation to help terminally ill children. 430. 431. To help raise awareness and combat HIV/AIDS, Rihanna and other public figures designed clothing for the February 2008 H&M Fashion Against AIDS line. 432. 433. In 2008, Rihanna performed a series of charity concerts entitled A Girls' Night Out 434 to benefit the Believe Foundation. The concerts were made free for the public. Money from sponsors and advertisers were to be donated to provide medical supplies, school supplies, and toys to children in need. 435. 436. 437. In September 2008, Rihanna contributed to the song Just Stand Up, with 15 other female artists, who shared the stage to perform the song live on September 5, 2008, during the Stand Up to Cancer television special. The proceeds from the single were given to the fundraiser. 438. The television special helped raise $100 million for cancer research. 439. I feel strongly that all children everywhere should be afforded the opportunity of a quality education. Therefore, I'm proud to announce Clara Lionel Foundation's partnership with education advocacy leaders like the Global Partnership for Education and Global Citizen. Working together, I know we can amplify our efforts and ensure that millions of children gain access to education globally. Rihanna, discussing the Clara Lionel Foundation's partnership with the Global Partnership for Education. 440. Rihanna founded the Clara Lionel Foundation, CLF, in 2012, in honor of her grandparents, Clara and Lionel Braithwaite. Programs include the Clara Braithwaite Center for Oncology and Nuclear Medicine at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Barbados, and education programs. 441. 442. The CLF hosts an annual Diamond Ball charity fundraiser event. The inaugural event in 2014 raised over $2 million and the second raised over $3 million. 443. 444. On February 12, 2012, Rihanna performed a benefit show at the House of Blues to raise money for the Children's Orthopedic Center and the Mark Taper Johnny Mercer Artists Program at Children's Hospital. 445. In November 2012, Rihanna gave $100,000 to food bank donation for Hurricane Sandy. 446. On January 3, 2014, Rihanna was part of the Mac Viva Glam campaign, which benefits women, men, and children living with HIV/AIDS. 447. In March 2020, Rihanna donated $5 million to COVID-19 relief. 448. And followed that up with additional donations of personal protective equipment to the state of New York. 449. And an offer of $700,000 worth of ventilators to her home country Barbados. 450. In April 2020, Rihanna further donated an additional $2,100,000, matching Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey for a total of $4,200,000, to provide support and resources to individuals and children suffering from domestic violence amid the lockdown. 451. The Clara Lionel Foundation donated to climate justice and climate resilience. In 2022 it allocated €13 million to climate justice. 452. Advocacy. During her performance at the NCAA March Madness Music Festival, Rihanna expressed her disagreement with Indiana's Religious Freedom Restoration Act that allows companies and individuals to use their religious beliefs as protection, in case of being accused of discrimination against LGBT people. 453. Rihanna along with other celebrities featured in an online video titled 23 Ways You Could Be Killed If You Are Black in America. The video was released in partnership with the We Are Here movement and called for action against police brutality. 454. In January 2017, Rihanna participated in the 2017 Women's March, which took place in New York among protests the day after U.S. President Donald Trump's inauguration. 455. She has also criticized President Trump's immigration policies including Executive Order 13769, which sought to ban citizens of Iran, Iraq, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Syria, and Yemen from entering the United States and his response to the 2019 shootings in El Paso